Molotov by Jason Isbell has a lot of stuff going on in it, so I'm trying to pick out the most recognizable parts and show them to you as easily as I know how. There are a lot of chords, there are a lot of changes that seem to be taking place, and everything is going to be standard chords unless I otherwise note. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time telling you exactly how I'm fretting these because they're just standard chords. The intro is going to start on an A minor, and in this A minor, after strumming down once, you pick up your first finger and expose the open second string, and then you plant your first finger back down. You do that as a down, up, down. So on the up, you're picking your first finger up. And then an E minor. And then a C major. Now in the C major, you've got the same feel as the A minor. Notice me picking up my second finger and exposing the open fourth string and then putting it back down. So A minor, E minor, C major, and after one round of that it goes into a G. This is where the verse starts. Now in the verse, the first change that you hear is you hear him go to a C over G, where you leave your ring and your pinky planted on the first and sixth strings, third fret, but then you take your second finger and you plant it down on the fourth string, second fret, and your first finger down on the second string, first fret, to give you the C inside of your G chord, and then open it back up again. It's that feel. Then it goes to an E minor, and then a B minor, and then a C. Back to the G. Now, whenever you go to the B minor and the C, that's happening on an upbeat. Listen to it real quick. So I'm going to start with the G, go into the E minor, and then the B and C are upbeats. Down, 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 up, down. So whenever I was saying down, not only was I emphasizing down with my strumming, but that was also basically the down of each beat. And then whenever you get to the B minor and the C, not only are you strumming up, but that's also the upbeat of the note or of the measure or whatever. I'm not a music major. Okay, the next part of this song is the chorus. So whenever you get to the chorus, it's an A minor again, with that same pickup with your first finger, and then an E minor, a C, and then back to the E minor, then an A minor again, and it just repeats that again. E minor, C, and then it resolves into a G, where you've got an electric guitar doing a riff. That's what the electric guitar is roughly doing. Alright, then you've got another round of verse and chorus, I think, and then you've got a bridge. Here's how I'm playing the bridge. So I'm playing the bridge, starting it with a full-throated F chord. So I'm playing, this is a bit different, I guess, than a standard F chord, the way that you might see it on a chord chart. I'm playing it with my ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 4th string 3rd fret, second finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, and I'm not really worried about my high E string. Sometimes I just leave it open. Sometimes it might get struck and ring out, sometimes it's muted. It doesn't really matter. But then to give more depth to this chord, with my thumb, I roll across the top and I fret the 6th string on the 1st fret. So this is how the bridge begins. You've got down, up, down, that same feel that we get in the rest of the song. And on the up, you're picking your second finger up off your fret to expose the open 3rd string. The way that you move that to the A minor chord is with a G in between, kind of with that same upbeat feel that we were talking about with the B minors and C's. It's an upbeat that occurs on. So you've got F, the A minor to the C, you've got that same upbeat feel, but instead of going back to a full G, it seems to go to the third of a G, which is this B note right here, 5th string, 2nd fret. And I play that by moving out of this A minor. I move my 2nd finger to that B note, and I try to be clever with my muting so that whenever I strum up, I'm really just kind of hitting that G note and that B note. And then come into the C. Pick your 2nd finger up again to expose the open 4th string. And then after doing this one round, it goes back to a G to resolve. Now the second time around, it does pretty much the same thing. You go back to your F. Except for the second time around, you go to an E minor instead of a G. And things go kind of quiet here, and then Jason Isbell comes back in with another verse or chorus, I'm not sure, but the chords are an A minor, an E minor, and then it gets kind of big with upbeats again, going E and a D, it's an E minor, he goes to a D, and then a C, E minor, it's kind of hard to get that D in there, but coming out of the bridge, you've got a slightly different chord progression than before. So again, you've got A minor, E minor, hit that D on an up note, and then or an upbeat, and then you go back into the C, and then back into the A minor for the rest, or to an E minor to begin the second round of this last chorus. Then the outro is the G chord, down to an E minor, and then the B minor, C again. So sort of the verse chord progression for the outro with the up strums on your B minor and your C. The electric on this song is really fun to play, and it's also pretty attainable. The opening riff is going to be plucking with your pick and then doing some slides with your fingers. The first two notes are an open 5th string and a fretted 4th string on the 2nd fret. And then take whatever you're fretting the 4th string 2nd fret with and run it up to the 4th string 7th fret. And then pluck it again and kind of run it back down and pick up on the 4th string 2nd fret again to the 4th string 5th fret, and then run that up to the 9th fret. So you've got but you're doing it with some runs. Then the next part, I fret with my 2nd finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, a C note, and then I hit the 4th string 2nd fret with my 1st finger usually, and then slide up to the 10th fret. And then it resolves into a G. Out of this G, sometimes you hear the guitar part go. So keeping just a kind of standard G chord with my ring finger and my pinky finger on the 6th and 1st strings 3rd fret, I use my pointer finger to fret the 2nd string 1st fret, open up the 2nd string, use my 2nd finger to fret the 3rd string 2nd fret, then open up the 3rd string. And you can pick through that, you can strum through that whole thing as long as you emphasize what I just told you to. Most of what the electric is doing during the verses is nondescript. It's just following the acoustic guitar with just kind of random things happening within the G's and the C's. Random pull-offs and hammer-ons that you may hear going on. A lot of that sound right there. But the most distinct thing that I hear the electric doing is this riff going into the E minor. So, whenever the acoustic guitar goes into the E minor, the electric leads into it. So while the acoustic is still on the G chord, the electric begins this lead into the E minor by striking, the way that I'm hearing it at least, striking the open 5th string, hammer on the 5th string 2nd fret, hit the open 4th string, and then fret the 6th string 3rd fret, fret the 6th string 2nd fret, and then go into the E minor. So open 6, an E minor chord behind it. And I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but it sounds pretty close. After you hit the E minor chord, you hear the electric go into the B minor and the C major that the acoustic guitar is doing, but he's not playing standard chords, or not a standard B minor chord. What I think he's probably doing is just fretting the 5th string 2nd fret, and then hitting maybe the open B string, just kind of picking his way back down those open strings, and then coming up into the C chord, and hammer on your way into that C chord. Back into the G. But the main lick I'm hearing there again is then in the chorus, the electric is going back into our pluck and slide. You pluck the open 5th string, fretted 4th string 2nd fret, and slide up to the 4th string fretted 7th fret. Pluck it and slide back down and catch on the 4th string 2nd fret, 4th string 5th fret, and slide up to the 4th string 9th fret. Pluck it and then slide back down. And then you, on the 5th string, fret onto the 3rd fret, making a C chord. Then the 4th string 2nd fret, and slide up to the 4th string 10th fret. And then here's where you've got to change from the intro. I jump to the 3rd string 4th fret, so fret the 3rd string 4th fret, open the 3rd string, and then fret the 3rd string 2nd fret, and I just pick through that into basically that's an E minor chord that you've got going on there, and it repeats. On the second time through, it goes into another riff. The way that you play that riff is on the 2nd string 3rd fret. Get that feel? Like 1 and 2, I guess, is that count. And then open up the 2nd string. And then the 3rd string 2nd fret. Open the 3rd string. Fret the 3rd string 2nd fret again. And then play the 2nd string open. And then it goes into another verse, I believe. During the bridge, the electric is going to, out of the, that riff gets played before the bridge. Whenever it goes to the bridge, the electric goes to an F chord, and I'm playing just a standard F chord there. And I lift up my 2nd finger to expose the open 3rd string. And then it chunkily walks up to a G. You take this F shape and just move it up 2 frets to a G. And then it goes into an A minor. And after, or in the A minor, you pick up your first and third fingers so that you're exposing an open second string and third string. And then you hit your chunk again. And after that, you walk to the B note and then to the C. Whenever you get to the C, he plants his pinky finger down, it sounds like on the first string, third fret, and just picks down the chord a few times on the first, second, and third strings. And then goes into a G chord. And then here's where the kind of riffier lead takes place. After the G chord, I move my pinky finger to the second string, third fret, and then I slide up to the fifth fret on the second string, hitting the open first behind it the whole way. And then walk it back down to the third fret on the second string. Then walk it down to the first fret on the third string. Open up the second string, and then you've got an F chord that you go into. And do the same thing that you did at the beginning of the bridge. So crap, you go to an F, not an A minor. And then it does that again. And then the second time it goes to an A minor. And then it does again. And then it goes into a C and does that picking thing again where you've got your pinky finger on the high E string, the first string, third fret, and you're just kind of picking down or picking around in this C chord. And then coming out of this the second time, he goes. The way you do that is you're fretting on, coming out of the C chord, it's kind of a pickup note going back into the E minor where you go from the fifth string second fret to the fifth string third fret, hit the open maybe third string, and then into the E minor. So I guess what I'm actually hitting is so fretted fifth string on the second fret, fret the third fret on the fifth string, and then open fourth string, open fifth string. That's what I'm playing there. Sure if that's exactly what he's doing, but it sounds again pretty close. And that's the kind of lead riff that's going on. Coming out of that quiet part, you've got the whole band that comes back in again on an E minor, and then a D, and then the lead guitar goes back into which we had already talked about. The way that I'm playing the chords to come out of the bridge whenever the electric comes back in, I don't know what he's doing. I'm just playing a standard E minor, and then I'm playing a D chord where I'm adding a lower third on it. So if you think of a standard D chord, but then find some way to fret the sixth string second fret, that's the way I'm playing it. Alright, lastly, the last riff that goes on. So we just talked about that. But the last time through, it goes. So here's the way that you execute that. You know this first part already. Then right here is where it changes. It goes open second string, fretted third string second fret, open third string, and then fretted fourth string second fret, second string, fretted third string, second fret, open third string, and then slide up to the fourth string, fourth fret, and then I hit the fourth string, fourth fret, and then hit the open third string behind it, and then bend your third string up to this G note, basically. Interplay there between the bent G and the actual G that's behind it, the third string. And that's pretty much the electric part for this song.